So you're in Coldstone Creamery just wondering where it all went so wrong. And look at this. Stapled on your receipt is a free digital download for Pupstar, made by the same people behind Airbud, an Airbud Golden Receiver, Airbud World Pup, Airbud 7th Inning Fetch, Spike Spare Buddies, Spooky Santa Buddies, Super Buddies, and who could forget Santa Paws 2. Taking one for the team, I decided to actually go and watch the movie, and let me be the first to say, Chipotle may give you E. coli, but at least they don't give you a rental for Pupstar. Pupstar takes place in a dystopian future where dogs not only talk, but sing, and society is loosely held together by a new version of the 3/5 compromise. Basically, Pupstar is American Idol with dogs, but if you win, you can just hop right back in next year and win again. So Bark over here has won 2 years in a row, and no one's stopping him from winning a third time. That is, if it wasn't for our main character, her trustworthy dog, and beautiful, just gorgeous drop dead. Pretty early on it stated in the rules of the competition that only original songs are allowed. I was already bracing myself to be annoyed, but much to my surprise, a lot of the songs in this movie were actually pretty good. I'm never gonna download the soundtrack off Spotify, but I never felt the need to skip past any of the songs, so you might as well give credit where credit is due. Now I'm sure you're all wondering the same thing. Is there a Coldstone Creamery product placement? And I am glad to say the answer is yes. And now for what you're actually wondering. I already know the question and you already know the answer. Does this movie suck? And yes, of course. You know full well Tarantino is not going to be posted up outside your local DQ handing out free copies of Kill Bill. And I know that I could easily make a 20-minute video about, oh look, his reflection in the mirror is talking, but he isn't. Red circle, clickbait title. The dog's dances are them walking forward, and then the reverse of that shot. Red circle, clickbait title. But this video is titled Pupstar Review, and I keep my promises, so here it is. If you are anything other than a kid, you will find this movie to have no entertainment value whatsoever. It's not so bad it's good, it's not kind of good for a kid's movie, it's just bad. However, as a parent looking for something to put on to keep the kids entertained while you sip martinis and wonder where your early 20s went, this is one of the best choices you have. And my reasoning for this is as follows. A common practice for kids' movies is to have jokes for adults subtly put in there so the parents and babysitters stuck watching them have something to laugh at while the kids are none the wiser. A good example of this would be Shrek.
That must be Lord Farquaad's castle.
That's the place.
Do you think maybe he's compensating for something?
Adults get it, kids don't really get it. It works. The worst example of this would be Angry Birds, where the pigs wear assless chaps and spank themselves to country music. Every part of this joke is visual. It's not funny, it's not creative wordplay, it's just a terrible thing to have in a kids movie. No one benefits from this. Pupstar doesn't have any adult jokes in it, so they had nothing they could mess up in this regard, and I'm so quick to suggest Pupstar for kids because it really doesn't have anything in it besides singing dogs and a shallow believe-in-yourself moral. It doesn't have any real sad scenes or anything too evil, nothing super loud or any kind of ham-fisted morals being pushed on your kids. It's just there. So when you flick it on, kids see talking dogs, so they're none the wiser. You have a phone to browse the internet, so why do you even care? It's just peace and silence. The best scene in this movie, I can actually imagine the director and the actors and dog trainers all like commingling to try to get this scene to work. They're in a hot air balloon. One of them's supposed to be playing the bongos, so they get the dog to like accidentally hit the bongo once. And they're like, oh, well, that's not going to happen again, so we're just going to horizontally flip the shot so it makes it look like he's using both paws. And everybody nods, and they do exactly that. And they're like, oh, well, now we got to make it look like he hit it with a double tap, so we're going to put a stick, attach it to the bracelets the character wears. We're just going to push his arm up real high and just drop it on the bongo. And perfect. Everyone nodded. And the director was looking at this and he's like, we need a third shot. We need a vertical shot of the dog playing the bongos. And they're like, oh, should we do a cat playing the piano kind of early viral video type thing? And he's like, no, actually we have fur arms for Tom and Tom's just going to hit the bongos. And they're like, oh, won't that be painfully obvious? Oh, no. It'll look fine. And
from east to west, north to south, the dogs came to audition. Throw me a bone! question on everyone's mind is, can anyone beat Bark, the returning champion?
Outro.